Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to show the most recent job history for candidates in Microsoft Access. For example, you've got their complete job history in another table, right? And you want to quickly, at a glance, see what their current job is and what their previous job was. And this is good for jobs, it's good for orders, it's good for all kinds of stuff. If you want to see the last something and the previous something before that, no matter what you're dealing with, this technique will work for you. This is going to be an expert level video. What is expert? Well, expert is a little more advanced than beginner, but it's not quite developer, which means we can do this without any VBA programming at all. We just have to know a couple of functions. Although I might sneak a little VBA in toward the very end, but you don't have to know programming to be able to do this. All right, today's question comes from Evan in Allen, Texas, one of my Platinum members. And I'm going to try something new today. Here we go. Ready?
I run an employment agency and maintain a complete job history for each of our candidates. When viewing a candidate's record, it would be helpful to quickly see their current job and the most recent previous job at a glance. What is the best way to display this information on their record?
What do you think? I'm trying a little speech synthesis there for the question, huh? Yeah, you like it? You like it? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, Evan runs an employment agency, and he wants to be able to quickly see that person's current job and their previous job without having to load up their entire job history. So we're going to build something like this. We got a customer form, right? And right here we could see the current job since that date and their previous job, which they had until that date. Here's their full complete job list. Let me move this back over here, right? And you can put in there what they did, right? From this date to that date. No end date means that they're still in that job, right? Previous job. And you can see these two top ones here go onto that record. Go to the next person, right? James Kirk doesn't have a current job if you look, right? He doesn't have one with an open end date, so he's got no job. Although Captain Kirk would never not have a job, right? Okay, and so on. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. Now, even though this doesn't require programming, I do have a bunch of prerequisites for you that you should know before trying to tackle this video. You should definitely understand relationships between tables. Obviously, we're going to have a relationship between customers and jobs. We're going to make a job table. That'll be a one-to-many relationship. And yes, I'm using the term customers generally because I already have a customer table built, right? But this could be employees, this could be whatever. And if you're a placement agency, these would be your customers. So, I mean, you might have employees and you might have companies, so you could have different tables. But for the purposes of class, we're going to call them customers. You should know how to open a form to a specific record, right? Watch this video. You can do it with the wizard. You don't need coding for this. You should know what continuous forms are. You should know what string concatenation is. That's putting two strings together. This one's important. This one's crucial. You should know how to use the DLookup function. Very important. If you don't know DLookup, definitely go watch this video. And we're also going to use DLookup's little cousin, DMax. Go watch this one too. And of course, a little companion to DLookup and DMax is always NZ, the null zero function. Very important. Go watch this one. We're going to use the if function, immediate if. All right, also very important. As you can see, there's lots of different functions we're going to have to use to do this, but no programming, just functions. You should know how to get a value from another open form using the form's form name notation. All right, go watch this video if you don't know what that means. And I will be using my TechHelp free template for this database. So if you have not yet watched, go watch my blank template video where you can also download a copy of this database. And I also recommend you watch this video where I show you how to link the customers and the contacts together, which is kind of the same thing we're doing today with customers and jobs. All right, so you got all those. Go watch any of those videos if you're not familiar with them. There's a lot of them, but it's all easy stuff. It's free. It's on my YouTube channel. It's on my website. Go watch all of those and then come on back. All right, so here I am in the TechHelp free template. This is a free database you can grab off my website if you want to. And in here we have customers. We're just going to use customers. We're not going to bother renaming it to employees or any of that stuff. It's people, right? It's people. So we're going to track each one of these each one of these persons' jobs. We're going to need a job table, right? So let's go to create and table design. And we're going to start off with our auto number. Every table should have one. Job ID. We're going to need a customer ID so we can relate this back to the customer it belongs to. This will be a number of type long integer. a description of said job. Short text is fine. Then we'll need a start date. That'll be a date time, and an end date. That'll also be a date time. And you could put whatever other information in here that you want regarding this particular job. You could put a notes field. You could put who their employer was, whatever you want. That's up to you. I'm just going to keep it simple for class. But anything else related to this job goes in this table. All right, save this as my job, T for table. All right, no primary key defined. Say yes. That'll make this the primary key. And we're all good. Let's put some data in it. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me type, so I'm going to copy and paste it. I already typed it in my other database. In fact, I'm going to cheat completely. Watch this. I'm just going to delete this job table that we just made, and I'm just going to steal my other one. Look at this. Oh, click, drag, drop. There we go. There's my job table. All right, so I've got 3 jobs for customer 1. That's me, right? Fleet Admiral, Shuttle Pilot, Transporter Operator. I've got 2 jobs for customer 2. 2 jobs for customer 3, and then I just put some sample data down here, job A, job B. So we can take a look at the start date and the end date for each of these jobs. Now, some definitions. We're going to define the current job as the job with the most recent start date that doesn't have an end date. Okay, so if it's their current job, that means they're still at it. That could be important for a recruiter, right? They might want to, know if the person's currently out of work or if they have a job. So if there's no end date, then the current job is the one with the most recent start date. Okay, got that? All right. Now, their previous job is going to be the job with the most recent end date. All right, so it has an end date, so they're not currently at it, and it's the most recent one that they quit, because they might have 2 that are roughly the same, but they might have had one later. All right, so that's how we're going to define these things. Obviously, you can change those definitions if you want, but that's how I'm going to build this database. All right, let's make a form out of this so that we can very easily work with this stuff. Now, I already have my continuous and single form blank templates here. I talk about these in the blank template video, right? So we're just going to copy this continuous form and use it for our job form, right? Copy, paste, Control C, Control V. This will be my job F, my job form. And there you are right there. Let's design view. All right. First thing I'm going to do is double click here. This doesn't have to be that big. And we're going to set the data record source equal to where you're getting your data from, the job table. Okay. Now, if you go to add existing fields, there's the fields from the job table. I'm just going to drop them right down in here. Let's click on that one. Click on that one with the shift key down. That'll select them all. Click, drag, drop them down here. Okay. Now, do you need to see the job ID on here? Nah, probably not. You need it for relationships and stuff later on, but we don't need it on the form. Okay? Customer ID. Do we need to see this? No, probably not, but we are going to need it later. So I'm going to actually delete the label. I'm going to slide this guy down into the footer. We'll see why in a few minutes. Okay? Description, start date, and end date. I am going to use these guys. I'm going to delete the labels. I'm going to actually delete these. We don't need those. I'm going to put, let's do start date here, and then end date there, and then description next to it. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. And as far as the labels go, I'm going to use my one label trick. Watch this. I'm going to click on this guy, slide it across the whole thing like that, and we're just going to use one label. Start, like that, a bunch of spaces, end, a bunch of spaces, and description. I think that's easier sometimes for these little forms than making multiple labels in there. That's just my opinion. You can do what you want. Let's shrink up that detail section because we don't need all that. Leave this guy here again for a second. Save it. Close it. Let's open it. All right, there's everybody, all the data. That's fine. Let's left align these date fields here. Design view. I'm going to click, shift click to select them both. Format, left align, and then save it, close it, open it. That looks a lot better. I can see the tab order needs to be adjusted because this is the first field in the tab order. See, look at that. See, let's fix that. Design view. Let's click on the detail section, go to tab order, hit auto order, hit OK. If you're not familiar with tab order, that's a beginner topic. I'll put a link to my tab order video down below. All right, one more time. Save it, close it. Let's open her back up again. Okay, looks good. Now, let's slide this over here. And let's open up the customer form. Now I want a button on my customer form that I can click on to open this guy. Okay, so I'm going to close this. right click, design view. Let's grab a button from up top here, drop it down below. Form operations, open a form. Next, what form do you want to open? That guy. Next, we're going to open the form and find specific data to display. Next, now we're going to match the fields up. The customer ID on the customer form is going to match the customer ID on the job form. Okay, that's why we had to have it there. That's one of the reasons we had to have it there. We'll talk about it more in a second. Hit this little button right there that'll match those two together, right? Basically, what field links these together? That's the field that makes your relationship. All right, next, what do you want to have on the button, right? Jobs is fine. That's just the caption for the button. Next, you want to give the button a good name? Of course you do. You don't want to call it Command 30. I'm going to call it Job BTN, Job Button. That's how I name my buttons. And then finish. And there's your Jobs button. All right, we'll make it match the other two. We'll resize it just a little bit. Let's make it bold since it's for this class, right? Save it. Close it. Open it. Ready? Hit Jobs. Boom. And there's just my jobs. That's what I wanted to see. Just my 3 jobs. Notice customer ID is 1 for each of those, right? Okay. Let's go to the next person. Jobs. See how now it's just customer 2. Just that person's jobs, and so on. All right, that relationship is important, and the button code links them together. Okay, now, why do we need to have this down here? Well, if we go to add a new job for this person, notice how that reverts back to 0. So we want to make the default value for this box equal to this customer ID, right? That's why I wanted you to watch that contact management video, because I talk about that in more detail in that video. So we're going to go right click, design view. We're going to open up this guy's properties, the customer ID on the job form. We're going to set its default value. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this better. Shift F2. It's going to be equals forms customer F customer ID. That's how you get that customer ID. All right, hit OK. Save it. Close it, close it. Now if I open the form up again and I go to add another job, notice the default value is 3 now and it stays in there. That's important. Okay? And another thing you might want to do is you might want to make this form modal. What modal does is it makes it so that you can't change what's behind that form before you have to close this form first. I got a whole separate video on modal. I'll put a link to that down below as well. I'm not going to leave this modal because, in all honesty, when you're developing a database, when you're designing it, when you're working on it as the programmer, it's a bit of a pain to have to deal with modal forms. So I usually go back when I'm done, and then I'll make my forms modal. Right? Because you don't want someone coming in here and closing this or changing it, and then this value is not right. Okay? Now that we've got that set there, we can come in here, design view, and I can hide this guy. Now, what I like to do when I hide fields, just for me, I come in here and I make them red, like a red background, and then like a white foreground. And this is just for me because I'm going to hide this guy, right? I'm going to make it not visible. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go to its format properties and find visible and change that to no. Okay. The value's got to be there so we can set it. It has to be on the form, but we don't need to see it when the form opens up, right? So if I close that and open it back up again, right? It's still there, but we just don't want to look at it. But when I switch over to design view, me, the developer, I can see that it brings it to my attention that there's a hidden field here. That's why I make it red. Okay, that's a Rick trick. Okay, all right. All right, so now that we've got our jobs in the system, we've got a way to update and edit them. Now we're ready to start putting our fields on the customer form so we can see that data at a glance, right? The current job and the most recent job. And we're going to see how to do that in tomorrow's video. So tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Or if you remember, you can watch it right now because I'm going to record it in just a few minutes. Whoop, someone's beaming in. But that is going to do it for your Tech Help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow for part 2. A special thank you and shout out to our diamond sponsors. Juan Soto with Access Experts Software Solutions, manufacturing experts specializing in Access and SQL Server. Sammy Shama with Shama Consultancy, a certified Microsoft Access expert who offers personalized one-on-one tutoring. And Amanda Nicole Consulting, specializing in helping businesses move from complex Excel sheets to an Access database. You'll find links to the Diamond sponsors in the description down below the video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my Tech Help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the Tech Help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any Tech Help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for TechHelp questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.